ever since fighters like Barrera and Morales and Pacquiao vacated it to move up. That's Oscar Larios. Here's the tale of the tape. Larios, from the Guadalajara area, is 2 years older than Hussein, 1 inch taller, and has a half-inch arm length advantage measured from the armpit to the end of the fist. Both are high contact fighters. These are not cuties. They both weighed in within a pound of the 122-pound weight limit. They both have rehydrated 11 or 12 pounds, or 13 in the case of Larios, unofficially on our HBO scale coming in tonight. Rules of the bout with our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman.
The Oscar Larios Nedal Hussein fight is scheduled for 12 rounds using the unified rules that you see on your screen. Jim, once again, the 4 criteria that the judges will use to score each individual round: clean punching, effective aggressiveness, ring generalship, and defense, with a strong emphasis on clean, effective punching. Jim.
And here comes Nedal Hussein, who has been laboring in the vineyards in Australia. He says that never in his 36-fight career has he been able to stop working other jobs and subsist solely on the basis of boxing. Maybe if he wins tonight, however, he will be in an entirely different position.
6 years ago, he fought Manny Pacquiao in Manila. And it was one of those fights, as they say, when you have to knock out the guy to get a draw in his hometown, because he knocked Pacquiao down early in that fight. His trainer, Jeff Fenech, says that Pacquiao was down for 18 seconds, but a compliant referee kept the fight going, and Pacquiao won after 10 rounds because of a cut sustained by Hussein.
Born to Lebanese parents, raised in Australia. His parents had left Beirut prior to the beginning of the war in Lebanon. He says as a child, he and his brothers were taken back to Lebanon for a 2-week vacation, wound up getting caught up in the war, and wound up staying there for 2 years. Not a choice. Now here comes Larios. 14 straight wins, 5 of them by knockout. Warrior, as you see.
Larios would be a featherweight at least if he wasn't in line behind his countrymen Morales, Barrera, Marquez, and Pacquiao, of course, from the Philippines. But he is elected to stay at 122 to fight off the platform of a title there, and hopes that after this fight, if he's successful, that he can get one of those big guns in his sights.
He's been bulging at 122, and sometimes needing to make the weight over a long period of time can take something out of you, but Larios hasn't shown it yet. And now let's go to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the MGM Grand of Las Vegas, Top Rank Incorporated and Golden Boy Promotions is proud to present World Championship Boxing, brought to you in association with Miller Lite, the MGM Grand and HBO pay-per-view. Sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, the 3 judges at ringside will be Carol Castellano, Chuck Hassett, and Dalby Shirley. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Richard Steele. And now from the MGM Grand of Las Vegas, 12 rounds of boxing for the WBC Super Bantamweight Championship of the World. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white with blue, official weight 122 pounds, professional record 36 victories, including 22 knockouts with only 1 defeat. Fighting out of Sydney, Australia, please welcome the WBC #1 ranked challenger in the world, Nedal Skinny Hussein. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. Wearing blue, official weight, 121 pounds. Professional record, 53 victories, including 35 knockouts with 3 defeats and 1 draw. De Guadalajara, Mexico, the reigning, defending WBC Super Bantamweight Champion of the World, Oscar Chololo Larios.
Okay, I spoke to both fighters in the dressing room. I'm cautioning you again. Obey my commands at all times. Good luck.
Larios is regarded as the best in the world at this weight. Hussein says this is either a coming out party or a retirement party for him.
I didn't see him against no stiff competition, but he did show beautiful body punches and I saw him fight.
And he told us that his knockout punch is the left hook to the body. Larios starts off to test and see if Hussein is really ready for this level of competition, and lands a couple of shots early.
And maybe also, Jim, to make an impression
Don't hold him.
on some of those bigger name featherweights.
Hussein, for his part, seems unruffled by the early assault. And although taking his time getting into things, doesn't appear uncomfortable despite Larios' offensive flurry.
Having gone to the Philippines to challenge Manny Pacquiao shouldn't much more be able to scare you, you know?
Absolutely right. Hard to imagine a more forbidding climate than that. And of course, Pacquiao's one of the fastest starters in the sport, so you're right. There's probably little Larios can do that would shock Nedal Hussein.
But look how big Larios is at this weight.
His upper torso appears about twice as wide as Hussein's. Hussein misses with a wild swing. Larios targets him with straight punches. Now Hussein lands a solid jab as he steps in. Hussein keeping his gloves up and blocking some of these shots by Larios, but Larios is getting a little bit of leather in.
Break! Break!
Once again, Hussein jabs and then steps in. And there's that left hook to the body.
A good right hand by Larios after that body shot, though.
Larios firing that right hand with abandon. Now Hussein begins to open up a little more himself. Blocks the right hand shot to the body, fires a right hand to his own. Larios banging his right hand against Hussein's glove. Hussein ducking and slipping, not firing back. Hasn't really targeted Larios' body yet.
Can't, because Larios is making him use his hands for defense right now.
Well, it's almost as if he's trying to gauge how much a fighter of his quality Larios has before he decides to use his own stuff.
Larios overshot with the right. Hussein got in one little pop of the body. All in all, it was Oscar's round because he carried it with aggression. And once again, as we go to Oscar Larios' corner, our interpreter is Ray Torres.
All right, don't get over anxious. Nice and quiet. Yes. Try to get situated and jab. 1, 2, 3, and then hit and get and move. Yeah. Nice, man. Concentrate.
Stevie, remember what we said about the hands up, huh? Get and sleep. Sleep the punch. Don't catch on the guard. Sleep and punch. The right hand slingshot's there. You can do it. Step outside and think. Think. Step outside the jab and come back with your right hand. And after the right hand, it's the second and third punch that's going to hurt you. Not the first punch. It's the second and third. That way's the only round.
CompuBox numbers in round 1. Oscar Larios threw 82 punches. Nedal Hussein only threw 26. So you know who won the round, but Larios only landed 18 of the 82 punches. And you heard Jeff Finnick, excellent fighter himself, and the trainer of Hussein saying, duck and slip. Then look for your opportunities.
Pretty soon he's got to start giving Larios something to think about.
Uppercut stunned him. Larios with a perfect right uppercut shot. Now the left uppercut lands. He didn't throw uppercuts in the first round, and Hussein didn't appear ready for it. Another uppercut lands, and again seems to stun Hussein. Hussein gets in a left to the body.
Larios is just a puncher, you hear me?
He is firing away. If he threw 80 punches in the first round, he might throw 100 here.
Body shot.
There's the body shot by Hussein.
Go home.
Oh, another good body shot. That body shot hurt Larios.
But Oscar comes right back firing.
Yeah, that body shot hurt him. He pulled that arm down real close then. That hurt him.
So the first real statement in the fight by Hussein.
Hussein's definitely the stronger puncher here.
That's interesting because he looks so skinny.
He's the strongest puncher, trust me.
And he backs Larios up with a perfect left hook and brings it again to the body.
That hurt Larios again, trust me.
Now Hussein is starting to get into the fight.
Keep him up.
Those body shots are really bothering Larios, trust me. That's the best punch this boy can throw. He and his brother both are vicious body punchers.
His brother, Hussein, is an unbeaten flyweight contender. Hussein begins to seem to feel as though he can step up inside of Larios' long stuff.
But he has to throw the body shot more. Good right hand
by Hussein. Backs Larios up.
Another
right hand lands.
Trust me.
Oscar Larios is feeling the impact.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to take Hussein's punches. All Hussein has to do is not get caught by one of these punches that he's trying to block and doesn't see, and he'll win this fight. Much, much stronger, much more composed than the champion Larios.
Larios was a 2-1 favorite in the fight. Many in the boxing world took a look at this and said, very interesting. And there's a hard right hand uppercut by Skinny Hussein.
If I was a bettor, I would have definitely bet on Skinny.
Oh, what a right hand. Perfect shot. Larios took it pretty well.
It's the head shots he takes well. It's the body shots that Larios is having a problem with. Right there,
see the left to the body, and you saw
by Larios, though.
Larios digging his left arm in against his rib cage, trying to guard against it.
And he don't want to taste that body shot no more. But this is what Larios is good at, outworking his opponent.
Overwhelming the opponent with activity. On the other hand, Hussein is very disciplined in the face of all that assault.
Always. Now you can give that credit to his trainer, Jeff Finnick.
Yo, now you break him down, Skinny, but what you gonna do with the second and third punch? You hit him with the right hand, you stayed there, mate. You let him counter punch you back. Why? Hit him in the body, hit him in the chin, stay down there. Stay low. What about hold? From low to high. Low to high. You power shot with the second one.
Work that left hand and the right hand. Come on. We know we practice all this.
Here you see this beautiful left body shot coming out of nowhere. Boom by Hussein. You see Larios pull the right arm back to try to protect. Then you see him counter Larios' jab with a straight right, which is very beautiful. That's what his trainer was telling him to do in the corner before the round started. Step outside and counter the jab with the right hand over the top.
Jeff Finnick in this period between rounds asked Hussein to focus more on combinations and to work the body before going upstairs. Larios' trainer wants more left hands. In round 2, Nedal Hussein targeted 14 out of 40 shots correctly, and all of them were power punches. remarkable how comfortable Hussein looks in the fight, given how aggressive Larios was in the first round.
Yeah, but you got to credit that to the experience that he has. People think because he's not been fighting in this country that he's not experienced. But like I said, if you can go to the Philippines and fight Manny Pacquiao, that's the best experience you ever can get in a lifetime as far as a professional boxer.
Good right hand by Larios.
Very good right hand by Larios.
Well, also, there are some quality fighters coming out of Australia.
Perfect right hand shot by Hussein, countering Larios.
The gym that Jeff Finnick has there has a whole stable of quality fighters, so they see quality fighters every day. There's also another guy there by the name of Anthony Mundine who's not a bad fighter.
Right, and a kid named Green, and of course Costa Zoo.
Yeah, Green is also out of this gym.
Look who's backing up now.
Don't hold him.
The left hook to the body suddenly has Oscar Larios backing away from Nedal Hussein.
He put out a lot of punches early, and that's what Hussein wanted him to do so that he can work on the body and try to tire him out.
Now Larios starts to come on again, and Hussein tries to counter with that right hand over the top again. There's a perfect shot. This is an offensive fight and a crowd pleaser so far.
Keep in front. Break.
Could it be a preview of Morales-Barrera 3?
The only problem that Nedal Hussein has is that he's afraid to just let punches go at times. He holds his punches until he thinks he sees the place to put them, and you can't always do that as a pro fighter.
Certainly Larios doesn't have that problem. That's a guy who lets his hands go.
Exactly.
But you see how tight and short that left hook is for Hussein.
Yeah,
that's how you keep power.
And if it lands, it's going to be a problem. Right there, he's looking for an opening, and he catches 3 shots because he's looking for an opening instead of just throwing.
Break. Break. Break.
I have to assume, Roy, from the position of the fighter, it's so much easier to see that hard right cross coming than the quick left hook.
Yeah, it is. The hard right cross has further to come from. Although it's a straight line, it still has to travel a further distance. The left hook goes outside of your vision. You have to catch it with peripheral vision. It makes it a little more difficult to see.
All right, let's go into Eric Morales' locker room, or dressing room once again, I should say, as Morales prepares for this third meeting with Marco Antonio Barrera, and still the atmosphere here very relaxed, as it has been all evening long. I don't think I've ever seen Eric Morales smile this much before a big fight. His manager, Fernando Beltran, to his left. Nearby, his father, Jose Morales, for sure. A man who has trained 11 world champions, and now Morales, perhaps understanding that I'm surprised he's smiling, attempts a stern look, but laughs it off. They're having a good time in there.
Very good time. Look like they're not worried about much at all.
Looks like a Roy Jones dressing room before a fight.
Yeah, because you ain't the youngest. It's a word now. Either you're ready or you're not ready.
As Lorne Michaels, the producer of Saturday Night Live, reputedly says every Saturday night, we don't go on the air because we're ready. We go on the air because it's 11:30 Saturday night. Power shots through round 3. Larios 38 out of 147. Hussein 21 out of 59. So Hussein has been way more conservative, but has been effective too. Harold, how do you have it through it?
Okay, Jim. 2 rounds to 1, 29-28, Oscar Larios. You know, Jim, in round 2, Nedal Hussein showed me he's got terrific skills. But the truth of the matter is, unless you start throwing punches, the great skills ain't going to do you no good. You got to land a shot. Nedal Hussein in round 1 covered up, in round 3 covered up. Larios won those 2 rounds, 2-1, Larios.
Very early returns. No exit polls yet to tell us exactly what's going to happen here.
Well, one trend that seems apparent is that Larios came out here looking to make some kind of a strong statement, you know, hoping to perhaps get a sensational early round victory. Now he's fighting like he's in a fight in his normal boxing punching style.
Well, he's learned that Hussein isn't out of his depth. That, in fact, he's in a prize fight.
Exactly. And people think that sometimes when fighters come from somewhere else, that they're not used to seeing that these guys will be overwhelmed by stepping in this big arena and taking a fight like this. But this is not the case with a guy like Hussein.
He has fought in the U.S. twice before.
Not a title fight. No.
Not against a fighter of Larios' quality.
And not on the undercard of a Marco Antonio Barrera and Eric Moretta's fight.
Big time.
Well, as Jim said, he does appear unruffled, but he has to find a consistent solution to Larios, and he's been unable to do that.
And I think Larios just hurt him with a body shot. He's letting Larios punch too much. Larios lives off of offense. His best defense is his offense, and you like a fighter like Larios.
Right.
So we'll see if Hussein can bring himself to let his hands go a little bit more as the fight progresses. Larios, as we said, is a free-flowing puncher. Big swing with the left hook. That one wasn't short and tight.
Right.
And Hussein indeed grimaces from another body shot by Larios.
Half a minute, Skinny, half a minute. Half a minute. Right hand to the body. Right hand to the body. To the body.
Good uppercut by Larios.
Larios started off round 2 landing a series of uppercuts, but then Hussein turned things around with straight right hands and left hooks.
Larios has made a better adjustment to Hussein than Hussein has to Larios.
And that was the most one-sided round so far.
Relax, relax. Put it down. Sit down. Sit down. Listen. Listen to me. Skinny, you're doing all the hard work. You're taking him back, and then you let him punch you. When he's on the ropes, you're on the ropes. See what he done to you? Hit you with 10. Come on, mate. You're taking him back. You're gonna punch. Don't just take him back for nothing. Take him back and punch. Come on, champ.
It's it or nothing, Skinny. Come on, mate. Don't let it slip away.
We've got plenty of time now. Come on, let's come on, bro. This is once in a lifetime.
Okay, listen, let's hit him with 3 right hands, and then the combination, so you step back. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 with the left, and then the right hand. Yeah. Be careful with his right hand. Lower your chin a little bit.
You know, probably this is the calm before the storm. But you don't get a sense in the arena as yet that this is a big occasion tonight.
Well, they're not here to see Oscar Larios fight Nedal Hussein. We'll find out when the main event fighters enter the ring exactly what the atmosphere is going to be. Well, you heard Jeff Finnick say to Nedal Hussein, this is once in a lifetime. Hussein was quite direct in saying to us yesterday, this fight is my whole career. If I lose it, I may as well hang him up.
He's going to go home and look at it and say, you know what? I can't hang it up yet because I just didn't assert myself enough. I didn't act like this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Certainly it appears he'll have to risk more to have a chance to beat Larios here.
The problem is that if he loses this fight and goes back to Australia, there is no way he can make any real money there. And he hasn't shown enough of himself here that there's going to be a demand to see him again.
That's his point. He has a business as a, quote, automobile wholesaler. He's a dealer of used cars, new cars, a variety of circumstances. And that's what he's planning to do once he hangs up the gloves. Straight left hand lands for Hussein. Larios working. Keeping the pressure on. Larios was punching very hard in the first couple of rounds. Now seems more interested some of the time in just making contact.
That's all he wants to do, make you keep your hands at home. That's his style. That's a smart style. He believes in the best defense is offense. You see, he doesn't have his hands up. He doesn't really care to try to stop too many punches except for that body shot. He thinks offense is his defense, and that's very smart.
Hussein getting off just a little bit more in this round than in the last.
Right.
Preceding round,
Stop punching.
Hussein only threw 25 punches.
It's very effective when he does punch.
That combination got Larios' attention.
Just makes him fight a little harder.
This time Hussein is probably going to wind up throwing 40 punches in the round, so it's a much more spirited output.
Right.
But Larios may double the punch output himself. He's going to throw 80. There's that left hook to the body. Big impact when he lands it. Ducks a Larios' right hand. Didn't get another chance to throw that left.
Larios discouraged from with that rough combination punching that he does.
Is everything all right? Give me some water. Let's keep doing the same thing. You're doing fine. Yeah. You turn, spin, and don't get over ancient. Yeah. When,
You're not tired. We don't get tired. You know that. Skinny, you've got to punch with him, son. You've got to punch with him, my friend, mate. Skinny, take your wrist right in, left to grip to the body. Come on, champ, do it for me, Bill. Skinny, Billy, come on, brother. Don't worry. Come on, brother, do it, Skinny.
Jeff Finnick hit the nail on the head. You got to punch with him. That's what that's what Hussein hasn't done enough of.
Yeah, if you wait till the other guy finishes punching, there's no time to punch back.
If the other guy's going to throw 80 punches around, you got to take advantage of that.
At some point.
And you would think such a tall fighter as Larios has some target areas.
Well, there's one. As a good jab lands on the kisser, and there's another one as once again the left finds its target. Larios slightly more conservative now. Gives Hussein a little bit more of a chance to develop a rhythm. But there's a hard right hand against the ropes by Larios. Hussein has shown he can take a punch.
Well, I don't think Larios punches with everything he's got. He's not a guy, you know, trying to do serious damage with punches.
No, he's an accumulative guy. He wants to hit you with a lot of punches, not one or two.
And his punches are long in a lot of instances.
And keep your hands at home so you can't punch him.
Good jab by Hussein. He ducks the right hand and holds on. This is the best round for Hussein since the second, as he, for the moment, commands the ring action. First time since the second round in which Hussein has shown any real ring generalship.
Maybe it's catching the second win.
Well, I'm not looking for generalship. I'm looking for some fire.
Well, maybe it starts with this. There's a good left-right combination by Hussein. And another left lands. Starting to become a very good round for Nedal Hussein. Larios with a little pop with the right hand. Hussein's punches have been considerably more substantial in this round. And for the first time since the second round, there have been some instances here where Hussein beat Larios to the punch.
Because he started punching. If he punches, he can beat Larios to the punch. He just doesn't punch enough, like right there. He should be punching. He's trying to hold. Why?
Right. Straight back clean, great clean.
Larios even seems to pull his punches. Like he doesn't want to commit. You know, he doesn't want to have to deal with incoming. But
it's a tiny nick over the right eyebrow.
It's an effective style. Difficult style to fight.
He's a busy John Reese.
But if any damage was done in that round, it was done by Nedal Hussein. So he makes a little rally to get back into the fight a bit, and we go to Marco Antonio Barrera's dressing room. No big smile there. The poker-faced assassin, formerly the baby-faced assassin, shows the same expression, which has dominated his career. He's been a professional fighter ever since he was 15 years old. And this despite the fact that Barrera comes from an upper middle class upbringing in the relatively comfortable suburbs of Mexico City, an entirely different kind of genesis than that of Eric Morales, and that's perhaps part of the animosity between them. To say that these two guys don't like each other is at least accurate and perhaps an understatement. CompuBox numbers in round 6. 60 punches thrown by Larios, his low output of the fight. 46 punches thrown by Hussein, his high output of the fight. Let's see if Harold gave Hussein the round. Harold?
Yes, absolutely. 58-56, 4 rounds to 2, Oscar Larios. You know, I thought Hussein got in some nice shots in round 6 to win the round. I don't know. You know, Jim, it's one of those rounds where he may have just won it because he did a little bit more than he did in the rest of the fight. So far, Oscar Larios, certainly the bigger guy, winning this fight 4 rounds to 2, basically on clean punching and effective aggressiveness.
It could always be, Harold, that I talked you into giving him the round, but we've done that before. Good left to the body by Hussein.
Let him out.
Hussein started the last round out with his jab, and he jumped out in front of Larios. But this round, Larios came out with his jab, and he jumped out in front of Hussein.
Well, once again, the operative phrase is punch with him. If Nedal Hussein's going to give himself a chance to win this fight against Oscar Larios, he's going to have to take advantage of the fact that Larios freely lets his hands go and do the same.
Trying to look at a place to put his punches.
Hold him. Break. Step back. Step back.
Round 7 of the scheduled 12. Clean fight. There hasn't been a real clinch. There hasn't been a foul. Hussein waiting and waiting. He has opportunities as Larios occasionally swings wide. And there's a good body shot by Hussein, and Larios backs away. Hard right hand, perfectly thrown by Larios.
Yeah, and Hussein's going to be mad at himself tomorrow. Trust me. He's going to be completely upset with himself tomorrow because he's going to say, I could have, I should have, and I would have.
Well, he's got 5 rounds left. Maybe he'll get the picture.
It's not looking that way, though.
It's not always easy to generate confidence in a prize fight, Ray. You almost have to have reinforced it every day of your life to be at the very top level.
Right.
What a lot of people don't realize is also it takes just as much out of you to throw a punch, to take a punch, as it does to throw one. So a lot of guys say, well, he hasn't done much. Why is he tired? Because he's taken a lot.
Larios left himself open for the left hook.
Right.
Hussein managed to land it. Very active round for Larios again, though, and that big right hand in the middle of the round was the most effective punch thrown. Here's a body shot package featuring the body shots of Oscar Larios, Roy. We talked about what a body puncher Hussein is. Maybe Larios decided he wanted to come in and counter that by fighting fire with fire.
Yeah, you see he's been throwing a right hook to the body right there. He's been very effective for him right up under the jab. I think he hurt Hussein with 1 or 2 of those shots because he's been throwing some beautiful ones right under that that left arm of Hussein. Boom, the same right hook to the body. And once a guy, sometimes, once you get hit with a good body shot, it reminds you that maybe I should try this. And that's exactly what Oscar Larios has done.
Hey, if he plays dirty with you, don't be such a nice guy. Punch him hard.
Change it around this round, brother. Come on, champ. Change it around this round, mate. You're getting late, Skinny. You're getting late.
Average punches per round through 7. Larios landing 14 out of 74 punches per round. Hussein 9 out of 35 punches per round. Or 36 punches per round. So in other words, Oscar Larios, by CompuBox count, has more than doubled the punch output of Nedal Hussein, and that basically is the difference in the fight. Now Hussein begins to look as though he's beginning to understand that he has to take leather to land leather.
Since he's taking it anyway, he might as well throw some.
Nedal got in his little quick left hook inside, but Oscar Larios' body punches seem to have taken some of the snap out of Hussein's attack.
They've taken a lot of the snap out of Hussein's attack.
Don't hold him. Come on, pull it back. Right.
That offensive defense by Oscar Larios has been superb tonight.
He's a very hard guy to fight, given his size, his willingness to fight inside, ability to move out as he's doing now, nice footwork.
He landed an uppercut there. He landed a right hand. Now as Hussein lands a left hook, Larios momentarily slips. They trade on the inside.
Like my dad used to always tell me, the best defense is offense. Larios is a perfect example of that. Oh, good right hand by Larios.
And Hussein throws him to the canvas for his trouble. So after a clean fight up to now, we're starting to get a little bit of flinching and wrestling.
That's really just a sign of discouragement. He's kind of frustrated right now because he can't get things going his way. That happens with young fighters.
Here's that left to the body by Hussein. Larios says, all right, I took a left to the body. You can feel mine too. Again.
Right.
But Larios is throwing like 5-1.
So much more willing to fight. Hard right hand by Hussein.
But he only throws one. Never going to get it done that way.
Clean shot, but one at a time is far different than when you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 combination punches. See there?
This guy Larios is something else.
Larios just keeps throwing until something finds the target. It's okay to miss second if you're going to land one. I don't know what Jeff Finnick can say that he hasn't said so far.
Nothing.
This is wrong. Come on,
Yeah, but that's thing, Skinny. He's the one that's throwing punches, mate.
Skinny, right hand, left hand straight will work. 1, 2 will work. We're not doing nothing, Skinny.
Skinny, just throw the right here, make it miss, and then do your lunge left hook that we've been practicing, mate. Your left hook will land, Skinny. Everything that we've done, mate, and everything I told you to do, you've done, mate. Come on, Skinny.
No regrets, mate. We don't want to go home.
Don't lose your concentration. Nice and cool.
Okay. Okay.
Todo bien. Is everything all right?
Right here you see Hussein get popped with the right hand right there. And out of frustration, he throws down Oscar Larios, and that shows you that he's just frustrated right now at this point in time.
There was a look on his face, I thought, that said, I've trained all my life, wanted all my life to do this, and am I good enough?
I saw a look that said, this guy didn't seem to be this good on tape.
Realistically, you got to figure Hussein is at least 4 rounds down with 4 rounds to go. So it's now or never for Skinny Hussein, and Jeff Finnick has been trying to make that point.
And they're telling him the right hand, but I think the left hook was the shot because he hurt Larios early with the hook to the body. And he's abandoned it.
Well, that alone tells you that Larios isn't all that hard a puncher, because that was a clean shot against an off-balance fighter, and Hussein just looked at his feet as if to say,
a free shot.
Don't hold it.
Larios looks as though he would be a hard case for any of the top featherweights, but that doesn't mean I'd necessarily have to see him fight them.
He also looks as though he can fight all day. I see no evidence whatsoever that Larios is tiring in the fight.
Reminds me of Daniel Zaragoza.
Star 122-pounder for many years in Mexico.
Until his title was taken away by a very young Eric Morales.
Yeah, and he wasn't that strong of a puncher, just always stayed busy. I mean, he did all types of things wrong, but it didn't matter because he always found a way to win with that accumulation of punches.
There you saw Hussein trying to land one big right hand. I agree with you, Roy. The left hook to the body would have been the ticket. He hasn't thrown it enough.
Nope. And they're telling him to throw the right hand, but the right hand isn't the punch for him. See, he'll never hit Larios with the right hand.
Don't hold him. Break. Step back, step back.
It's so much easier to find the target with that left hook to the body.
Like that.
An activity fight. And almost all the activity being generated by Oscar Larios. There's the left hook, which I think is Skinny Hussein's best punch, whether upstairs or downstairs.
Good uppercut by
Again, he
Larios.
tries to land the one big right-hand shot and pays the price by getting hit with 5 little punches. Well, you don't see many knockouts past the 9th round, but in all likelihood, Nedal Hussein needs one to avert loss. Larios.
Todo bien, hijo, ¿eh?
Everything's fine.
3 golpes y fuera, chaval.
Press.
Vamos que no tiene nada en el ojo, ¿eh?
You got nothing in the eye. It's minor. Let me have the bucket.
No tiene nada en el ojo.
There's nothing wrong with your eye. We gotta just keep the same fight. Hit and don't get hit. Hit and move out.
Go from one way like Skinny. The left hook will, if you go from right eye, go work, and then step up the left hook, it will land, brother. But it's got to come from here to there. It's not going to hit him from here. He's seen it coming, mate. Disguise it from low, Skinny. Bring him straight on the right hand. Straight on the right hand, Skinny.
Round 10 begins. Nedal Hussein traveled all the way to Australia, all the way from Australia, to try to make a name for himself, and so far has fallen short by not letting his hands go. Harold, how do you have it coming to the 10th?
Okay, Jim, 88, 83, 7 rounds to 2, Oscar Larios. You know, Jim, I've been looking at this guy all night, and I'll tell you who he reminds me of, and that's a former Roy Jones victim, Murky Sosa. I mean, he's herky-jerky, he throws hard shots, and he's busy. And Murky Sosa probably fought the greatest fight in the history of boxing when he fought Prince Charles Williams the first time.
The greatest fight in the history of boxing.
They stopped it because both guys were so badly hurt. Unbelievable.
And that was a war, Jim. I mean, Harold, I remember that fight.
The greatest fight nobody else remembers.
Right. Let him up, let him up, let him up.
So does Larios remind you of Murky Sosa?
No, Murky Sosa was a little bit stronger than Larios to me, but he did work a lot, and he was just a guy who didn't appear to be that talented when you looked at him, but you get him in the ring, he's just a totally different guy. He was a mess to deal with.
Right.
Had a hard head too, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Hard head and hard hands.
Step across, step. Distance, give it distance.
Well, as we mentioned in the first fight of the evening, we're into that stretch where we say, if something different happens, we'll let you know. But round 10 so far is a repeat of rounds 7, 8, and 9. Interestingly, if you look at him 3 hours from now, Hussein might look like the winner.
He might look like the winner, but It's only because he saved punches and kept his hands up to his head. Oscar Larios put his hands to work tonight.
Step back.
And it continues in that pattern. Larios throwing punch, punch, punch. Hussein nibbling. It's as if Larios has had 4 helpings of turkey and dressing, and Hussein hasn't really finished his first one.
Come on, come on.
And he might not finish it tonight.
Time.
And he won't like the leftovers.
Not at all.
Skinny, mate. Yeah. Skinny, mate, you've got to knock the kid out, mate.
Gotta go for a Skinny. You've got nothing to lose
Skinny,
now.
you've got nothing to lose, brother. Okay. Come on, mate, go for deep, mate, go low, mate. Yes, every punch you catch him, mate. If you're going to catch punches, just catch him all right. I told you nothing's going to happen, mate. You got a punch from a champ. Okay. Come on, brother. You're saying okay to me for the last 5 rounds, brother.
6 minutes. You're not going to fight again for 6 minutes.
Let's go to Marco Antonio Barrera's dressing room. You heard about glove gate. You heard about the controversy regarding this glove and whether it would fit Marco Antonio Barrera's hand. You heard Larry Merchant say that whatever they removed from the glove would be taped to the back of the glove so that there would be no weight change, and that's what they're doing right there. Which gives, incidentally, gives Barrera an extra pad on that wrist with which to block Morales' left hand. Interesting.
I'm just glad they're fighting.
Our punches by CompuBox count through round 10. Larios averaging 11 out of 46 per round. Hussein 5 out of 19.
I hope we don't get a glove gate scandal out of this one.
I think it'll all be forgotten by the end of the evening.
Well, it may be forgotten by the middle of the first round or earlier. Nevertheless, what if?
You think Morales will come out and try to score an early knockout?
I don't know if he has knockout on his mind, but I think he thinks that he is so much stronger than Barrera now and has so much more energy that he's willing to battle him.
Don't hold it.
Would part of that, Roy, be...
Barrera got so much credit for battling him, I think maybe he wants to turn that around.
And Roy, would part of that be an attempt on Morales' part to put Barrera back in the negative frame of mind he faced a year ago against Manny Pacquiao?
Yep, that's exactly what he's going to come out and try to do. You saw Pacquiao start real early on Barrera. He was effective with that, and I think he's going to come in and try to do the same thing tonight.
Hey, keep it in front. Keep it in front.
Oh, good right hand by Oscar Larios.
Don't hold it.
Barrera had difficulty handling Manny Pacquiao's speed and fast footwork. Eric Morales is fast and has good feet.
Some of the best in the business.
On the other hand, Pacquiao was a southpaw, and Morales, like Barrera, is a conventional fighter. So his punches come from the angles which Barrera is accustomed to seeing.
Right.
After 24 rounds of fighting a guy, Roy, do you feel like you know everything about him?
You feel like you do, but in this case, with one guy going one way and one guy going the other, and them being so long between fights, it's almost like they see a new guy every fight because they had such a long time between the two, between every fight, actually.
Yes. 2.5 years between the first fight and the second, 2.5 years between the second one and this one.
Don't hold, don't hold.
Feel bad for Nedal Hussein because he's going to go home and feel like a guy that has a loaded gun, a full gun, and just has cocked and everything and can't seem to pull the trigger.
Well, we've seen it before. There's no substitute for experience, and sometimes, no matter how good you are, if you get into the ring against a guy with a vastly bigger background, it's hard to feel safe.
And this guy is just a very difficult fighter.
Skinny, you're 3 minutes. Skinny, honestly, mate, you're not even trying to punch him, mate.
Suck it in, Skinny, suck it in. Come on.
You're catching all these punches. Skinny, what's you catching, Tim?
Throw one punch
Count
at a
it.
time, Skinny.
Every time you catch one, they come up the middle, mate.
Don't take it up, go hard.
Tú ganas el round boxeando,
You're going to win the round boxing and then hit him with 2 or 3 in the move round. Don't just stand right there. He's looking for a good shot.
Traes un gran aire, buenas piernas. Con eso tenemos.
Let's give me your 3 best minutes. Hey, let's finish strong. Let's show them we want to fight, okay, Skinny? Hey, come on, mate. Give me the best 3 minutes of your life. Come on, mate, and I'll be happy. Come on, Skinny. Come on, champ.
It's the last round. He's looking for a lucky shot. All right, so be careful.
You know, we haven't even mentioned, and certainly we should have, that the referee is the comebacking Richard Steele. And this is Richard's most prominent appearance since his retirement from the sport a few years ago. He just decided to return within the past few months. And tonight, he emerges back near the top of the Vegas refereeing heap for the first time.
Yeah, I think he missed it. He's a lot like a fighter. You get out there, you get out of the sport for a little while, and you miss it.
Well, I think some of his retirement had to do with his sorrow and discouragement after the suicide of his close friend and protege, Mitch Halpern. He had groomed Mitch to become a terrific referee. Mitch had gotten some big assignments. And then when Mitch Halpern chose to take his own life, I think that was very discouraging to Richard.
Right. Step back clean.
My recollection is he wanted to go into business, maybe as a promoter. Didn't pan out. Did some other things. Just like some of the fighters we've seen recently take some time off and come back to the ring.
Don't hold him. Right. Step back.
Maybe like Trinidad, he'll be better than ever. Certainly this is their problem-free fight, by and large.
Don't push. Don't go down all the time, all right? Come on.
Minute and a half left in Nedal Hussein's shot at the big time.
It's about to be over.
Another professional night in the career of Oscar Larios, who has been to this level many times. As Roy Jones has mentioned several times, Hussein is all too likely to go back to Australia and look at the tape and say, why didn't I?
Right.
But Larios has made it that way by asserting himself from the opening belt.
Right. Step back, step back.
Hussein will say, you know, he never hurt me.
I just didn't pull the trigger.
That may be one of the best punches of the fight right there. A hard right hand off the jaw of Larios.
Right.
One punch probably won't get it done for him, though.
It sprayed liquid all over the press corps, and that'll probably be Hussein's parting shot, his signature. Another good hard right hand.
Right.
Too little, too late. Veteran scorers, you've seen them all and know their names if you follow the sport. Carol Castellano, like her husband Tony Castellano, a veteran judge, scored the first Barrera-Morales fight for Morales by a single point, as did Dalby Shirley. Chuck Hassett of California. Anybody could have scored Mayweather-Sosa for Mayweather, but Chuck's a very good veteran judge. And there's Dalby Shirley, who was so instrumental in the first fight, Morales against Barrera, scoring 115-112 for Morales in a fight that most of us thought was surely considerably closer than that 3-point margin. Harold Letterman's card on Larios Hussein is 117-111, and Hussein winning the 12th and final round with those two good right-hand shots in the closing 30 seconds. Small consolation, cold comfort. And you see the disappointment on Hussein's face. He knows.
I think he knows he just fell short. It wasn't the effort. He just ran into a fighter with more skill, a deeper background. Very awkward to try to do serious business with. He didn't have the punch to change the fight.
And Michael Buffer is ready with the final decision in this fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at the MGM Grand, we go to the judges' scorecards. Carol Castellano, 118 to 110. Dalby Shirley scores it 119 to 109. Chuck Hassett, 120 to 108. All for the winner by unanimous decision, and still WBC Super Bantamweight Champion of the world, Oscar Chololo Larios.
So as it turns out, we were kinder to Hussein than the judges. One judge, Chuck Hassett, saw Oscar Larios winning every one of those 12 rounds, and there was a sameness about those rounds that might have made it easy to score by reflex. Certainly you can't fault anybody for seeing it as a one-sided victory for Larios. That's what it was, as he landed 171 punches to only 108. Look at the punches thrown. He more than doubled Hussein's output throughout the fight, making it utterly meaningless that Hussein landed at a higher connect percentage. When one guy throws 900 punches, he's won the fight by and large. Power punches, Larios again doubling the output, and although landing at a lower connect percentage, being at the end of the day more effective. We're just a few minutes now away from our main event, the third fight between Marco Antonio Barrera and Eric Morales.